Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are all pretty tired, so I will try to be concise and propose you and go with you through our presentation pretty quickly. I hope very much for questions afterwards, as it will be great to answer your detailed question and answer all doubts. Maybe a word of introduction about our company. We are also not very typical fintech because we are a pretty well-established IT company. The origins were with the banks, as we were doing mostly at the very beginning custom software development for banks. This gave us a lot of experience how banks are working on a daily basis, how the processes are structured in banks. And that was also one of the experiences and the basis for making the platform possible. I will show you the platform in a moment. We've got currently 7 banks as our clients. We are 100 engineers located mostly in one location between Warsaw and Berlin, Poznań, Poland, which is, by the way, a very nice city, so I hope to see you there one day. And now, back to merits. A little bit introduction, how the world is changing. We know that there are a lot of changes, a lot of disruption there. This chart shows how the interaction with branches are changing over time in different countries. So the number is decreasing, and the number of mobile interactions is rapidly growing. However, we can see that there is a certain resistance at the level of 1 interaction per quarter. This gave us first assumption to start working on our platform, that traditional channels are still valuable. You cannot close the branches one day. There are less and less of them every day, but we still have to cope with them. There's a great asset in them because they are making our presence visible in the market. Of course, they are not perfect because of whatever reason they are closed. They are not accessible, not easy to access for everybody. And that's why we believe that there is a certain need to improve this. And this is somehow improved by growth of digital channels. It's easy, it's convenient, it's customer-driven. Self-service, that's all great, but on the other hand, from the technical point of view, it's so complex. There are so many technologies, so many devices, that it's very difficult to make the digital proposition available in all channels and for every devices. So this is the second underlying assumption to build our platform. First was the reinventing the traditional distribution channels. And second is making the digital proposition available at any time, on every device, everywhere. And this gap we decided to bridge with the platform. The development works were more than 3 years, so it's not very, it's not an experiment. It's a very reasonably done platform, which enables combining all the best features of 2 worlds, traditional and digital one, in the form of digital sales platform. Maybe a word of how we define multi-channel. This is a combination of all possible access points in every technology and in every device. So the combination of all features is defined by us as multi-channel. So one can imagine that the person will come to the branch and will be serviced on the desktop computer of the branch officer, but it can be also self-service at the kiosk at the entrance of the branch. So both access points creating multi-channel. And if we say that to this experience we are adding a possibility of starting an interaction at home and finishing in the branch, then we are talking about cross multi-channel, which our platform provides. Where's the magic? The magic is that we are doing on-premise installation of our platform, and the platform is process-based. So the first secret of the platform is process definition. In case of, for example, acquiring new clients, let's stick to the onboarding, we are defining very wide and detailed definition of the onboarding process. Then, having this processes defined, we can talk about second secret. The second secret is integration with banking services. We ask bank, what are the required services we have to integrate to make this process possible? If we know the services, we as Consdata integrate to the services, so our hands are dirty, bank is not required to make this effort. IT people love it. And the third secret is how we integrate with front ends. This is just a very small action button which enables going through to the gateway of our platform. An example, this is an mBank web page. We've got here, oh, sorry, it happened. We've got here an offer to open an account. This is, by the way, for SME clients, so for companies, and open an account. If we push this button, we go through to our platform where the rest of the process can be proceeded. The beauty of this solution is that you don't need to change desktop application, mobile native application if there are any product changes. If there are any regulator changes, you change your distribution model. You are just changing the process within our platform. mBank started with us some time ago, and at a certain moment, in mBank, they decided to support newly created Orange Finance Bank. It's a subsidiary of French Orange Telecom, and they decided to provide Orange with banking services. So this is website of Orange Finance. Again, open an account. We go through to our web page, to our platform, which remains for the client as still Orange's domain. So client is filling the session of the Orange Finance, and it's powered by mBank. Based on the situation that we've got similar processes in mBank and in Orange, for these 4 groups of products, we made onboarding available in 12 weeks. And it happened instantly to all channels. Because of the fact that the implementation schedule was pretty easy for us. First, we integrated with backend services of mBank. And then once they signed a contract and decided to copy the backend to make another instance for Orange services, we just integrated and plug and play, installed the processes for Orange, and that was it. The other example of use of our platform by mBank for 2 subsidiaries in the Czech Republic and Slovak Republic, where the Eximee Platform as environment is the same, but there are different processes and different management. This is also important for the mBank as they've got certain synergies having the same platform, the same product definitions, etc. And another example of our successful implementation, 2 associations of community banks, where we've got one major integration with the backend and different integrations with front end. And the secret here is that, as I mentioned, within the process definition, we define access points, and the access point definition drives how the form is displayed to clients. And there are certain possibilities of changing also not only the visual side, the outlook, but also the functions. Here are we going, this is the same template, the same definition, but displayed in various channels. We started from the 5 steps process for the desktop onboarding. And this is a 3-step process for branch. Because having client in front of us, we can structure the process differently. In case of call center, we can add another functionality to service. And in case of partners, we can have different feel and look, and also make different commercial offer possible. This is the mBank onboarding, and based on the same definition, we've got Orange onboarding, where you can see there are 2 sections which are added especially for Orange because of their product characteristic. They're also selling telephones, which is accommodated part of the cross-sell within the same interaction with clients. In case of changes, how we are performing changes to the processes, it's just a definition change. And once the change in the definition is done, we can publish it across all relevant channels instantly. So any regulatory changes, any changes in your, say, fees and charges structures, any differences to the functions of the product can be very easily managed without making any changes to the front end side of your digital platform or mobile applications, for example. I hope I encouraged you to consider this as a solution for digital transformation. We invite you to discuss about your objectives. We will help you to define them. We can work together on timelines, and we ensure that costs will be as budgeted. We don't expect any surprises there. And, well, this is more or less it. Maybe one additional slide. If we start on Monday, I promise you that we're going to be ready with one onboarding before holidays. For questions, I invite you cordially to our booth. We can have a little bit more of a live demo there. And if there are any questions, I will also I'll be happy to answer them now. So thank you very much.
Thank you.